going straight to the source on something like this is super valuable.
I agree, especially from an investigative standpoint. You have a body, you have the actual witness who was there. It really doesn't get any better than that.
1,500 miles southwest of Alexander, North Carolina, Charlie, along with ex-CIA agent Tracy Walder, approached Dr. Phyllis Canyon's ranch.
Phyllis has the only specimen of chupakabra that has ever been recovered.
And I brought Tracy along to authenticate Phyllis and her research.
Dr. Canyon has clearly done her homework on this. She biopsied the carcass for mange, she took DNA samples, she looked at all the possibilities of what it could be. Hi, Phyllis.
My name is Tracy Walder. I'm one of the few women to have served as a CIA officer and FBI special agent. I served 9 tours overseas supporting the counterterrorism mission.
Having a body here gives us the ability to provide basically firsthand analysis, to measure it, touch it, do our own research. And in all honesty, that's what's gonna get us closer to the answers that we need.
It's absolutely beautiful here.
Thank you very much. I am Dr. Phyllis B. Canyon. And yes, I have the only chupacabra anywhere in the world. I watched this animal for about 2 years. Once I started losing the chickens, then it was like, well, what really is it? So I kept losing so many chickens.
How many did you lose?
29 in total.
Wow.
I thought it was amazing that whatever was killing the chickens never hauled the chicken off. And that's very unusual for any predator to come in and kill fresh meat and leave it. And if you look in these pictures,
oh,
it's
a puncture mark.
Very clear.
Yeah.
There are puncture marks. The animal has a different look. The animal had no hair on it. Dog-like, and eyes were so blue. Then I got the call that something had been hit and killed in front of our ranch. As I'm driving down the highway, I can see it laying in the middle of the road. So I pulled over, pulled it off the road, and that was the animal. So if you want, we can let you see it and we'll go from there.
I am really excited actually seeing the specimen. I have followed this story for almost 2 decades at this point.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Within the world of cryptozoology, having a witness and hard evidence together are the holy grail. If we can take measurements and connect those with the other team's findings,
we will be able to figure out how this chupacabra came to be.
Phyllis, do you mind if Charlie and I do some analysis of this? Take
Absolutely
some
not. Yeah, whatever you guys would like to do, you can do it.
we're going to use high dynamic range imaging on the suspected chupa specimen. The device generates a 3-dimensional representation of the creature to scale.
We'll be able to zoom in, maintain scale, look at what these teeth are like, and then compare that to any bite marks that are recovered.
With the 3D scans, we can compare the body structure, skull sizes, and teeth measurements to the direwolf.
The 3D model of the specimen will never deteriorate, and we can closely examine every nook and cranny of the body.
What's going on with these haunches?
We don't really know what they were. In the beginning, it looks like it's probably a gland. But when I did one of the DNAs, I scalpeled here, and it was just pink, fresh meat.
During my time at both the CIA and the FBI, I was really trained to determine whether or not someone is a credible witness. I think Phyllis is extremely credible, has done so much research and such a thorough investigation herself.
So this was the first time that we did DNA. We have done it multiple times, and it all has come back identical. Part of it matched the Mexican wolf, and the other part matched a coyote.
What about the third one?
The DNA doesn't match anything in the animal data bank that we have in this country.
What you're saying is this is a straight-up hybrid?
Yes, and we have the DNA to prove it.
Based on the experience with Phyllis, I am all in on this hybrid dog creature being what people are calling the chupakabra. Species interbreed. What I need to do now is to determine if that third unknown DNA signature could point to the dire wolf.
Oh, Charlie's calling.
Hey, guys.
What's up, dude?
I look forward to hearing what the field team came up with.
Before I examine the specimen further, I want to share relevant measurements. Head size, body shape, teeth size, and spacing, to see how that compares with what's being encountered in North Carolina.
We're on Jeff's farm. Yesterday, we were able to dive into his latest kill, which was a pig. Did a necropsy on the animal, and we were able to discover that it had the same type of puncture wounds that matched a lot of the chupacabra cases, with the two fangs that make the mark in the jugular.
That's interesting. The specimen was decidedly a canine. The DNA analysis, we were able to confirm it was Mexican wolf, coyote, and partially unknown.
Can you elaborate on partially unknown?
It just didn't match anything in the system. It's like fingerprints. If you have a catalog of fingerprints, you can only match to what's in the catalog.
There's a high probability that it could be related to the dire wolf.
Charlie, what's really interesting is that pig that died has bite marks on its neck that matches that of a canine. When you were looking at the specimen, what kind of measurements did you get from it?
From the front right tooth to the front left tooth, so like the fangs, essentially, the canines, 1.5 inches. Does that line up with anything?
Yes, that's what we got right here, too.
That was the
I can kind of
wound
hold
on
this
the
up
pig.
so you can look real quick. It was 1.5 inches.
Okay. This is good stuff. I have no doubt that this is a hybrid animal, the specimen that I've seen. Where it starts to get weird, where I'm really interested, is if what you are encountering is the same kind of hybrid.
Or they're migrating up more north, and they're continuing to breed, and it's just continuing to flow up here.
There are 3 types of known canines from North America, all with long Latin names, one of which translates to ambiguous dog-like creature. This appalling animal roamed freely for over 20,000 years. But when man arrived, the mongrel retreated to the forests, particularly mountainous areas, and to hide. I believe these animals interbred with other wild canines and continues to populate uncharted and underexplored regions of the Americas.
If we can match that specimen to the DNA from your site, that would be awesome.
The most important part of this investigation right now is DNA. We have got to collect DNA in the field and match it to Charlie's DNA to see if we are dealing with the exact same creature.
I'm gonna set some traps and see if we can get it inside a trap. If not, I'll do my best to get maybe a hair snag.
Something important Jeff mentioned was the fact that other farmers in the area are having the same type of sightings of the same type of creature. It's important that we go and meet with these locals and get their accounts, because we could probably triangulate a perfect location and pinpoint where we're going to be able to find this creature.
Sounds like we had a pretty good turnout in there, actually. It sounds like a lot of people.
I have a profound respect for the local natives simply due to their real knowledge of the country. And local accounts are still ever more precise and categoric reports that these creatures really exist and are not just old wives' tales.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, what's going on?
All right.
Where's Hammer?
Right back here.
Hi, buddy. How are you? I'm Brittany. Nice to meet you.
You too?
Got to meet your buddy, Jeff.
Okay.
Troy, nice to meet you. I need to know how you got that name, too.
Well, that's another story. This is my friend Punk. How you going? My friend Redbone. My son Brandon. Daughter Ember. Glenn. And this is Johnny Wad.
Thank you, sir. We're in the area because obviously there's been some really strange accounts on a lot of the farms up here of kind of like animal mutilation. Has anybody else had any kind of strange accounts like that, similar to that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So pretty much everybody.
It was like a vampire sucking blood, making the puncture wounds. And it didn't get his prey, it just got, got a bite of it and left.
A lot of the accounts is very much like, almost like if they went to attack and they got something and then you scared it off.
Right.
Like the animal couldn't do what it needed to do.
Right.
We've also found cats and foxes with one chicken's lots of something dug underneath one time, and it took their heads and the back ends also as well.
Were there any blood at the remains of the chicken
No,
death,
actually,
or were they
there
pretty
wasn't.
dry?
It was pretty looked like a clean.
Took the blood out of them from the back end.
Yeah.
From the back?
I don't trust group witnesses because a lot of the stories are going to line up. Everybody comes to the watering hole. They go, did you see that? I saw that. Did you see that? And then over time, the stories start to blend. But each one of these people have seen something. So we have to take everyone in consideration and figure out where this thing is hunting.
Most of the time with the known species that we're looking for is like, it comes in with a puncture wound, soft tissue areas are missing. So to hear that an entire head is gone and the organs clean out and the body remains is very bizarre.
It was very weird.
Well, and originally with the chupacabra cases, like the one in Puerto Rico was very much like a bat. The North American is more like a canine, like a very thick, girthy coyote.
It's odd because we've had people have sightings around here where they'll say that they think it's like a wolf or a coyote, but it's bigger, and they're not really sure what it is.
I would think that just from what I'm listening to, we probably have, before I jump into creatures, I would think there's hybridization, and any canid is going to breed, so you're going to have like coyotes can mix with dogs, and a red wolf could hybridize with a dog too. What I guess is it's a hybrid animal we just haven't seen yet.
I want to pull out my map because if I'm able to figure out a pattern, then we might be able to hone in on them, which would be amazing.
That would be.
If I can get everybody, for Troy and I, to get names of locations of the towns or areas you've seen them in, I'm going to mark them on my map.
You got it.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right, John.
Swan of Noah, about 10 miles up the road.
How about you, punk?
I'm right here in Oak Ford.
Right here?
Yeah.
Right here. What about you, bud?
The beginning of Mill Creek.
In the beginning?
So it'd be
that's up
over-
at the top right there.
Yep.
I just had the cat encounter.
Where was that?
It was up on Mill Creek.
Oh, so same spot.
It's all circles right through here.
Yeah. There's a lot of things you don't know it's out there, but they're there.
Now that we have some pinpoints on the map, it'll allow us to kind of triangulate the areas and the patterns in which these animals are being seen, and having that information, we might be able to pinpoint the exact location to find this creature. We could be capturing the chupacabra tonight, and that has never been done before.
Guys, the cage is ready. Let's get this goat.
The next morning, in the foothills of Appalachia, the team prepares the most important step of the hunt, to lure in and document the mysterious killer canine.
Okay, Mama.
With some Cheetos.
Using Farmer Jeff's goat Penny as bait, they will head to a location they identified as Ground Zero, based on local accounts.
All right, so we've been spending a lot of time with Miss Penny over here, and this is Jeff's goat. We don't want anything bad to happen to her. We're gonna have her in a separate enclosure and keep her safe.
Here you go, Mom. Good girl. Okay, Mama.
We really got to do whatever we can to keep Penny safe tonight, Jay.
Using the map of recent eyewitness sightings, the team has determined the best location to encounter the creature.
Hey, is this the right spot? Justin, I think this is kind of a game or cattle trail. What do you want to do?
Well, we got this hole right here. This is obviously heavily used. We could tell because the clay is packed so hard that the shrubs and the grass can't even grow.
So what's your plan? I mean, I get it. We're running out of daylight, and I want to get this up before it gets dark.
Yeah. Well, it's a clear path. Somebody's definitely taken it, and it's going to take that corner, so I think we just put it as close to that corner as possible.
The game trail runs along the fence and turns a corner at the tree line. They plan to surprise the creature and set the trap where the trail turns.
You ready, baby girl? I'm gonna spin this way and we'll walk that way, okay? That way you ain't gotta spin too much, okay?
This is an extremely big moment for all of us out here. We literally could be capturing the chupacabra tonight at any moment.
We're gonna go right up yonder.
This is huge for cryptozoology and even for zoology. This is a new animal to study, and this is massive.
Right now, I'm trying to look at the perimeter of this fence. This is a really good spot because when we pulled up, Justin already found a really good hole that an animal's been coming and going through. And as you can see, here's another one. So this is really good. It's been pushed up too. I got this area all pushed up. Again, hasn't really been used in a while. But if you look, do you see this grinding right here on this bush? So it's been constantly coming and going through here that it's actually been making this, shaving this tree down right here. In my honest opinion, versus the other one, this is a little bit bigger. So this would be a much larger animal coming and going through here than I would say a coyote. This would be much, much larger. I mean, even a North American bobcat is a pretty big cat. And I would say that size. I don't know if you can come in. Oh, I got hair. See? I mean, really our goal right now is to come out here and catch the chupakabra. And I may have already gotten the DNA we needed, like literally right here. We haven't even set up our trap yet. We may have just solved it. Dude, like.
If it works, rather it be a coyote, a wolf, or a chalupa, what it's gonna do is it's gonna run into that enclosure. There's a foot plate down there. The minute it goes through to see to get to the goat, if it touches that plate, it'll just drop. And then these two stoppers will pin down in and we have the animal. Safe, won't hurt the animal. And man, if we catch it.
Well, that gives us all the information we'll ever need.
What I'm doing here is a makeshift type of hair snag. And what hair snags are is basically a more humane way of catching the hair. Anybody on a farm knows that when they use the barbed wire, deer's jumping over the fence, coyotes coming underneath there, these little, if you look, you see these little metal pieces coming out. It'll catch the hair, catch the skin. Most of the time, the animal just keeps on going, and then left behind is just DNA.